What's up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger, and I'm going to talk today about being alone on Thanksgiving and being alone during the holidays in general, and just speak to why I'm making this choice and to speak to the general loneliness epidemic and just to talk about how, things like holidays and stuff like that are falling apart for quite a number of reasons. And the thing about me is, I just don't want to have to deal with the drama. Sorry, my nose is all freaking jammed up right now, but I don't want to have to deal with the drama. I don't want to have to deal with the ridiculousness. I just don't want to do it. I know that when I go there, there's going to be drama. I know there's going to be situations and just the whole thing, like even from the very beginning, there's drama because my parents are divorced. So if I go to one, the other one's going to say, why did you go to them and not me and whatever. So I have that to deal with. And there's a lot of other family problems and family situations which are not resolved, situations which they will not even acknowledge, situations which they will try to deny or deflect or act like it was quote unquote not a big deal. And there's just a litany of unsolved issues and a big mountain of all these unsolved issues and unresolved issues and unresolved problems. And I can't just go there and be, oh, hi, family, hello, and because I've been, not talking to people for a while and stuff, I could be going into an ambush. I could be walking right into an ambush. Who knows what kind of assumptions they have? Who knows what kind of drama they have going on in their life now? Who knows what the situations are? But I know now not to trust it. Because I'm just going to go there, listen to gossip, listen to BS, listen to stuff like that I don't want to listen to. And like, look, I want to have Thanksgiving with cool people. I want to do that. I want to get together in the holidays with cool people, but I'm not just going to do that with anybody. They have to be cool people. They have to be people who I trust, people who are respectful to me, and people that are doing the right stuff. If not, I'm not going to go through the hassle of, going there, flying out in a lot of cases, and, putting my time in to do that. I'm just not. And things are so divisive these days with politics and stuff like that. Like, I've heard about people not inviting certain people or not allowing certain people to come to Thanksgiving because of politics and political issues. That's not me specifically, but I've heard about people I know who've had these kinds of things happen to them in regards to the vaccine and in regards to the current or the election that just happened. And people are just splitting and dividing and splitting and dividing. And, people are doing it for different reasons. For my reason is to get away from toxic people and narcissists. And for my reason is, I've spent time hanging around my parents, outside of the matrix, so to speak, or once I've woken up to what's really happening in the world and what's really going on. And it was a lot different. I could see that, like, they're trying to get attention. They're trying to make everything all about themselves. They're not being respectful to me and to my wishes, and it just becomes a very exhausting, drain kind of thing. And all I really want to do is just lie down on the couch and relax, because I'm just exhausted, and they're going to turn it into a big energy grabbing kind of thing, and we're all going to sit around and pretend to be happy and pretend everything's cool and pretend that we're friends and pretend that there's no past issues or anything like that. And it's like, I'd love to do that, but we got a lot of problems we have to solve. A lot of problems have to be solved, and they refuse to accept that these things even are problems. A lot of times they refuse to even admit that these things even happened. And I just want to keep this private because it's my personal life, whatever, it's my family, but there's a lot of stuff that happened, and they refuse to even accept that said things did happen, and I don't want to do it. And then in terms of just finding whatever friends, these kind of people here and there, like, even that I don't trust because I've been in situations where I get invited over maybe by an older couple or something like that, and then they start to fight, and then they want me each to take a side with them against another person, and people are just going to try to use me and use us as pawns in their weird little games, and to try to make us be their therapist, and to try to lean on us, and to, like, narcissists will do this thing where, like, they'll talk about some bad decision they made, but they'll try to reframe the story as a good decision, and they'll try to get you to affirm whatever they did as good, and it's not good. Like, they just randomly broke up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend over nothing, and they're trying to make me, like, go along with it and say that it's cool. That's just an example. That's one I've heard of a fair amount, but it's just like, what the heck, I heard one, I'll put something out there. I heard one from my mom where she said some guy was giving her too much compliments, and he was really making fun of her or something. And I'm having to listen to this. I'm having to say, hey, that's not what happened, whatever. And then she's saying this and that. And it's just these kind of conversations are just really exhausting. And it really burns me out to be around it. And there's always some problem, or they have to, like, invent issues and problems. Like, I'm going to have to hear my dad talk about how he doesn't like my sister's boyfriend or whatever, and there's no good concrete reason why, and just hearing these people gossip on each other and all this stuff. And the fact that I believe in Jesus Christ is something that some family members don't like, and they're not about it. And if I talk about God at all or anything like that, they're going to be mad at me. So I can't even be myself around these people. I can't be myself. I have to be a fake plastic version of myself that is up to their standard, that they like. And I have to manufacture myself and be fake and be this certain kind of person that they can like, and I'm not going to do that. I am absolutely not going to do that. It's just, it's not happening. I am who I am myself, and I'm not going to change for anybody. And I'm not going to change to keep the sensibilities of these people happy. I don't care to, I really don't. And it's just, I mean, it's one of these things where, like, once I walked away, it was so easy. It was easier than I thought. I'm not, like, busted up about it. I'm not sad about it. I kind of realized, like, there was not a lot of contributions that these people were giving to me. And I'm not going to say everybody in my family is bad, or everybody that is attached to my family is bad. There are some good family members I have out there. There are some good cousins out there. There is whatever, a new, whatever, the new wife, the new husband, the new boyfriend. There have been some people like that have been good here and there, but they are the outliers, and they are not, like, the core people. They are the people who are just kind of the outliers who happen to be there. The very core of it is toxic, and I just know from having conversations, it's just tiring. I feel like I have to really, like, justify myself around these people. I have to really, like, make my case for who I am or whatever, and it's like, I shouldn't have to make any kind of case for myself. I should just be able to go there, eat food, be accepted, have family time, and not have to do that. But I find myself needing to make a case for myself. And I find myself needing to justify myself, and I don't have to justify myself to anybody. I really don't. And this makes a broader point about just how community structure in society is collapsing. And it's good and it's bad. We need to have community. We need to be together. We need to work together and, do stuff together and cooperate and collaborate and help each other and all that. We can't do it all ourselves. But at the same time, it's like these structures of family and community have been infested by so many toxic people, and narcissists and toxic people have taken over, and they get enabled and they get catered to. And I'd rather be a lone wolf than be around all that. It's so exhausting being around all that. And It's very easy to find yourself the target of it, where they all want to be bullies, and they all want to find one person to pick on, and they all make weird little subtle jokes about me that they think I won't pick up on, and weird little backhanded insults and stuff like that. And I'm just not trying to listen to all that, and I'm not trying to, be around all that. And, when it comes to the broader point of like community structures collapsing, I think society has just become so selfish and so narcissistic, and everyone is so about themselves that it's like we can't even gather together as a community because, the water has just been so polluted. The water has been polluted and the well has been poisoned. And it's to the point where it's like, all right, that water is polluted, that well is poisoned, and I can't go back to that, And the thing is also, like, they could slam the door in my face and decide to reject me pretty easy. Like, I've known people that are on the opposite side of this where they want to be in contact with family and with friends and stuff like that, and they get the door closed on them. And it's like, I don't need I don't need more rejection in my life. I don't need to be rejected by somebody again. I don't need to be rejected by the people that should be closest to me again. I don't. And I'm not going to go in there to have the chance to just have the door slammed in my face for no reason. Well, the reason being that I tell the truth, and the reason being that I won't sweep stuff under the rug, and the reason being that, like, I'm going to call out bad behavior, and, stuff needs to be settled and talked through, and that handshake needs to be made. And if the other side is going to try to gaslight me, make it all like it's my fault, and in the case of my parents, try to make it like it's my fault for things that happened when I was a very little kid, and to try to make it like I decided certain things when my parents decided those things, and to try to have everything twisted around and turned around and made into some way where it's my fault or made into some way where I'm defective, I'm not doing it. I'm really not. And because this attitude has proliferated so much into society, and because people have become so selfish and have become so narcissistic and have become manipulators and backstabbers and whatever, it's like this is going to keep continuing. Things are just going to be broken down more and more and more and more. And people are going to keep being narcissistic. And they're going to wonder, like, when they're sitting at a table and it's only narcissists and they are like hating each other and there's no nice people around anymore, they're going to wonder and be like, what the heck happened here, And they're going to be sitting together fighting and not having a good time and drama and issues. And I'm telling y'all, if you're the good one and you remove yourself from the situation, all that's left there is evil. And those evil people are going to turn against each other. And I haven't heard too much stuff because I haven't been involved too much, but I've heard faint murmurs of stuff that did not sound good. I've heard faint murmurs of like major relationship issues and the breakup might happen, or faint murmurs of the marriage not working, and faint murmurs of a business deal falling apart, and faint murmurs of a lot of conflict, And the thing is, these people, these narcissists, are used to getting their way. They are used to manipulating, and they are used to being enabled and having things just work out for them on the back of somebody else. And when those people are saying this is not going to happen on my back anymore, they're left with nothing. And they're left with no way to make the things happen that they want to make happen. And they're left alone, and they're not going to be happy with themselves, Really. And like, I don't need... The thing is, they try to use like holidays and all this type of stuff to get supply. They try to use holidays and all this type of stuff for their agenda and for their manipulation. And they try to hold that hostage. And I had this happen to me a couple of years back, and I wasn't handling it well because I didn't know what was going on. I was just like having a tough time with it. And I realized that these people were holding the holidays hostage over my head, and were holding my place in the family over my head, and making me an outsider because I decided to tell some truth. I decided to call someone out on their weird, poor, disrespectful, creepy behavior. I did, and it was towards me, and I was so sick of it, I was done with it, and then this person says I invented it, it's made up, this, whatever, and then my family members will not support me. They will not have my back. They will try to say, just pretend it didn't happen, blah, 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 and I'm like, no, absolutely not. And they don't want that truth to come out. They don't want someone who's trying to do the right thing. They want to have their little schemes and their little games and their manipulative weird crap. They do, and we threaten that a lot. Truth tellers threaten that a lot. People with good morals threaten that a lot. A lot. And we're going to see an exodus. A big exodus, and for me, they rejected me first. I went through a lot of rejection and weird stuff first, and there was a lot of things that I got disinvited to first. And then I decided, all right, I'm not just going to be this clinger-oner on the outside family member that will see someone here and there. I'm like, either I'm accepted in this family or I'm not. And if I'm not, or if I'm halfway accepted, I'm going to take that as not being accepted, and I'm not going to come around. And I'm just not going to put myself through that. I'm not going to put myself through all these annoying, tiring games, because the second I show up at the house, the games begin, the theater starts, they start doing all this stuff. I know if I went to my dad's house, he would be behind on the cooking, and he'd be running around in this weird panic, and he'd be mad at his wife for some reason, not my mom, but new wife. He'd be mad at her for some reason, and he'd be trying to make this big show that he's working so hard to cook the food and working so hard to set the table and going around to try to make me feel bad for him by doing all this theatrical stuff to make it look like setting the table or whatever he's doing is this hard labor, and he's going to make me sit on the couch and watch it. And can I help out? No, don't help out. Where did we put the cups? Where are the cups? I'm working so hard to keep this together. Don't you appreciate me so much? And I can't be around there anymore. I endured a whole childhood of that. And then, you're sitting there relaxing while your father breaks his back. And it's like, you told me to sit down. You did. So don't turn this one around on me. I'm willing to help out, but it's very awkward, because if you try to help out too much, don't help with that. No, it's hard to describe. I know some people are listening to this and they're saying, what exactly is Truth Tiger talking about? If you haven't been around it, you might not know what I'm talking about, but if you've been around it, you know what I'm talking about, and it's really exhausting, and I just find my energy just completely zapped being around these people, and I wish it was different, but it's just I'm burnt out with it. I really am. And I feel like back in the day, I would go to 5 Thanksgivings. I'd go to my mom's Thanksgiving, my dad's Thanksgiving, my friend's Thanksgiving. I'd go to 5 different meals, and I'd be hanging out with friends, and we'd be chilling and drinking and smoking and all this stuff. And once I started to get out of the matrix and think for myself and question society and figure out who God really is and figure out morality and align myself truly with Jesus Christ, once I start doing that, guess what? People don't like me anymore. They don't want to hear that. They want to stay in the sweet, sweet illusion. They want to stay in the sweet lie, the sweet delusion, and they don't want someone like me coming in with truth and messing that up. I'm serious. Once I started being about God for real, and being about morality for real and ethics for real and seeing the much bigger things than just this physical earth that we're on, dude, a lot of people turned against me. I mean, the name Jesus Christ, when you say it for real, will cause a lot of people to turn against you, even quote-unquote Christians, especially quote-unquote Christians, who are jealous of your true connection with God, and I'm just like, I'm going to stay to myself. I'm going to chill. And like, look, I already weigh 240 pounds. I'm already 240. I'm already a big boy. You know, I'm strong. I got a lot of muscle. I don't have a ton of body fat, but I'm looking to lose like 10, 15, 20 pounds if I can. I don't need to be eating all this turkey and doing all this stuff, you know, and whatever. But yeah, like once you wake up, it's harder to relate to people. It's hard to do holidays. It's hard to do all this stuff, you know. It really, really is. But I'm happy. I have God. I have all of you guys. We've got each other. Being alone on the holidays is nothing to stress about. It's nothing to feel bad about. And yeah, like in the end of the day, I'm happy. In the end of the day, like I have truth, I have love, I have God, I have my spiritual path. I'm not in that horrible bondage of the Matrix anymore. Like I am so close to being out. I am like inches away from escaping. And you know, on some level they know it and they want to keep you trapped. They do. It's the crabs in the bucket mentality. And once you start to become happy and have true spirituality and you do better in life, they get jealous, they want to pull you back, they don't like it, you know. So, yeah. I'm going to end this one here, but yeah, much love to all of you. You know, I really, really appreciate you all. And yeah, God bless you all. And yeah, I will see you all next time.